everyone, my name is Daisy Jemtai Ruto from Kenya, and thank you so much for tuning into this video. I know it's been a minute since I uploaded in my YouTube channel, so sorry for that, but I am taking advantage of this new 2022 KGSP rollout to explain to you the new updates and to give you tips in your interview process. If you're interested, let's continue watching it. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video, and there are a couple of changes that the Korean government has introduced to this new KGSP 2022 rollout. So let's go through it together. So for starters, let me bring out my notes just a bit. Why am I expecting to look intelligent? So for starters, the embassy track is accepting up to 248 students, while the Korean universities are accepting up to 730 students. So you either choose between university track and embassy track, weigh your options and see where your chances lie and choose that. For Kenya, my country, the university track is accepting 2 students, while the embassy is accepting 5 students. So based on that, weigh your options and choose whichever route you want, because you have to choose one. But the benefit of the new changes is that if you happen to fail the university track, you can also, sorry, not the university track, but if you fail the embassy track, like the document screening, you can be able to apply for the university track. It's only when you fail, you can go to check out the deadlines for each university. If you meet those deadlines, you can as well try the university track. So there is that advantage that was not there. It was there last year, but not in the previous years. So that's a good advantage. And then secondly, they changed the rule on the documents that you need to submit. Before then, I'm not sure what it was, but all your documents need to be apostille or consulate sealed. So I have done, when I was certifying my documents, I went to the Ministry of Education in Kenya. I'm not so sure if you're still able to do that. If you're not so sure, call the embassy and see what they mean by that. But I also did consulate my, my documents. So I got a copy of all my documents and I took them to the embassy in my country, Kenya. And what they did, it takes up to, the process is close to 1 week, so you have to be careful. I hope you've already done that by the time you're watching this video. So they call the school and they certify, oh, so these grades are appropriate and this is the right grades. So that's what they need right now, apostille documents. So make sure you make all the 3 copies, or is it 4 copies that you submit, all of them need to be apostille. And then your GPA as well has to be 3.25. It's always been up to 3.25, but in cases where your school does not give you your grades according to your, what's it called, the 3.25 GPA, like in Kenya it's mostly A, B, C, D. So what you need to do in this situation is that you convert it on your own. Just look up in the internet ways of converting into GPA, and then you take it to your university for them to certify it. So that is very important. You have to do that. And then also, when you're choosing your universities, as I pointed out, there's type A and type B universities. So as you're choosing the school like you want to go to, the requirement is that you have to choose 2 from the type A and then 1 from type B, and also maybe 2 from type B and 1 from type A. So you have to be based on the school and your program you want to choose, you need to sorry for that, things are just passing. You have to choose the one that is more appropriate for you. I have a friend, she chose 3 type A's and she didn't hear from 1. So don't waste the opportunity by putting 3 type A's. They might ignore 1 of your type A's or 3 of your type B's, I'm not sure. But be careful in your selection. And also they have introduced a new category, which is the R&D program, but this one is more suited for people in the high-tech industry, like the people in the science department, and they've listed the schools and the programs that you can apply for. So if you feel like you're up to par to their programs, you can also apply to that one. In the Kenyan embassy, they are now doing interviews for people from Somalia, and so from the embassy there'll be applicants from both Kenya, 5 of them, and then 2 from Somalia. So And the thing is, for Kenyan applicants, when you're submitting your documents, you have to take it directly, and people from Somalia can submit it through courier services. So make sure you submit your documents on time. Don't rush too much. I think the deadline is on 7th March in Kenya. So if you're very confident in your papers, take your sweet time, go through them before you finally submit it, because once it's done, your whole your whole KGSP application is based on what you're going to submit. So don't rush too much, because it doesn't really matter if you submitted the first one or the last one. It's what is contained in your papers. And then also they have changed the recommendation letter. They have reduced it from 2 recommendation letters to 1 recommendation letter, which is, it's good, because at times maybe you lack the one. So make sure the one person who actually recommends for you is someone who likes you a lot and will be able to write good things about you. And additionally, some schools might not be aware of this change, especially for university track. So make sure you tell them, oh, in the new application guidelines, this is what the the KGSP applicant guidelines says, so that they don't automatically dismiss you for not meeting certain requirements. So make sure you can email them. There's a list of the email and the contact details for the schools you're applying to at the bottom of the application guidelines. So just reaching out to your school is not a bad thing. So do it if you want to get a clearer what the school wants, what the school demands. Because also they have put out a caution that even though you might apply to a school, there's certain requirements, not only just being a KGSP successful applicant, you need to meet the requirements for the school. So maybe let's say the language school, they want you to have topic level 5 because the course is very hard. The chances of you failing it because you're starting from level 1 are very high. So another thing we need to be cautious of is your personal statement and your study plan. So in your personal statement, they have increased the pages for writing from 1 page to 2 pages, and the study plan from 2 pages to 3 pages. And that means basically that the fate of your application rests upon what you write in your study plan and your personal statement. During my interview process, the questions that were brought out were all derived from my personal statement and my study plan. So even in your preparation for your interview, you need to be very truthful in what you write in your personal statement, and also what you plan to study. So, and this is what the university will read, and because they won't do the interview for you, you've already done the interview at the embassy, and the fate of them accepting you into their school is in your personal statement and your study plan, and also your grades probably. So make sure you write a powerful and precise personal statement, introduce yourself, your family background, and just don't be shy in writing all the awards and accolades you've ever received in your life. And also make sure you stress on how, by being given the scholarship, how you will help to improve the Korea and your country's relations. Let's see what else was in the, I think in terms of the what is needed, that is it. Those are on the updates, and so I will jump into the interview process. So in this case, so you have passed the document screening process. Yay you! So what next? You're supposed to prepare for the interview, and the interview is done in 1 day based on the COVID situation. Some are done online, some are done at the embassy. I did it at the embassy, and based on the number of applicants, some enter 2 to 3 people in a room. In Kenya it was just 1 per person in a room. So just check on what are the requirements in your country. The more you are, the more you'll be 3 people in a room. If you're few people, you'll be 1 person in a room. So in I'll base my tips for the interview based on my own experience. So when I went for my interview, the panel consisted of 3 judges, and 2 were from the embassy and 1 was a Kenyan Now they have a local most of the time to also help in officiate the judging process. And he was a former KGSP scholar as well, and he was a professor. So he will definitely in this case situation definitely speak English or your country's language, probably mostly English. So that was so I prepared for my interview, especially everything that I wrote in my personal statement. I went through it and I was ready to answer. Like the questions mostly they asked you is like, why do you want to study in Korea? What will you be studying in Korea, and how does it benefit, you know, Korea and Kenya relations, Korea and your country's relations, and most importantly, what will you do after you're done with your studies? So those are the things they are keen to check: what, why, and what next after you're done with your program. Because why should they give you the scholarship? You should ask yourself that before you go for the interview, and formulate your answers based on why, compared to the rest of the people who are also applying, why they should pick you. So when preparing for your interview, make sure you emphasize and sell the value, or you know, sell yourself in a very positive light, and tell them you know, why you should get this scholarship. If you've ever applied for KGSP and you failed it once or twice, don't lose hope. I have met people who've gone through this interview process so many times. Never lose hope, and each and every time, if you ever got rejected, just go back and ask why you were rejected, you know, and do something differently. I have friends who got rejected and they reevaluated what they did differently in their first interview and their second interview. It plays a key role in how the judges will view your application. So choose wisely your words and what you say in front of the panel. And it's gender balance as well. This one had 1 lady and 2 men, so it depends with your country. Maybe to have 2 ladies and 1 man, so there is fairness. Additionally, they will one thing to do is present yourself in a good manner. From the way you dress and from the way you speak plays a key role. I think I remember when I went for my interview, I wore a suit, okay, a half a suit with a skirt, and I wore heels. I felt a bit extra because I had dressed to impress. But you know what, at the end of the day, I was told I dressed well, and you know, you get a few points at times for dressing well, because it shows what value you're giving them towards this, like, what's it called, how seriously you're taking this interview. So dress well. I kept it simple. I did a black and white theme because you never go wrong with black and white. And yeah, dress well and speak well. Speak eloquently and elaborate your answers very precisely. And one important thing is not to speak too much. Keep it short and simple. Don't have like verbal diarrhea and just yeah, they've read your personal statement. They already know what you're gonna say, but in that situation they'll have either pop-up questions that you have never seen in your life, or it was in your personal statement. But the thing is, keep your answers short and precise. Keep in mind there's so many people doing this interview, and the more you talk and you don't, you know, give out the actual answer of what they've asked, you will miss out on your opportunity. So just practice on keeping it short, precise, and clear answers. That will take you a long way. Okay, what else? I think additionally in your interview, make sure you emphasize on a lot of how you will improve Korea and your country's relations through the course you're going to study. Especially people who are applying for international relations or things on law, culture. Those are the things they're looking for, because why wouldn't you study in United States? Why do you want to study in Korea? So at the end of the day, the Korean government is trying to improve the bilateral relations between your country and them, and so this scholarship is a foundation, or it's a stepping stone towards such building such relations. In other ways, for people in the science department, you know, it's like sharing that knowledge out and bringing it back to your country. And like in Kenya, they have established a KAIST. They're establishing KAIST somewhere in Kenya, which is also a university based here. So you see, in such a situation, they are looking for ways to improve our education quality, and you being an applicant, you're an ambassador for it. So when I was preparing my interview, I asked my dad. My dad helped me with the interview process, and he questioned me. So do a interview process with someone who you trust and who will tell you the tips on what or you know, someone who will help you out, maybe with your teacher or your mentor or someone. So just make sure you go through that with someone you trust, and someone who's read your recommendation letter, and someone who knows you best. So in terms of the interview, just relax, be confident, smile. Oh, we're wearing a mask. Smile on the inside and just do well. Don't be too nervous and not answer your question, because you'll be eliminated if you're too nervous. Even if you're too nervous, recover it, or do not speak, because now they'll never know what you want to say. So yeah, just I hope for anyone who's applying that you'll be able to pass the document screening, and then after that you'll be able to be called for the interview. I think in Kenya the deadline for being called for the interview is March 18th. They will call you. Maybe if the deadline passes and they haven't called you, maybe you have failed. I think they said you failed, but they definitely do call the successful applicants. So I really hope anyone who's watching this video succeeds in the application, and you'll be able to come to Korea and pursue your master's or your PhD program. So good luck, and I hope that you pass it. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more travel videos. I have been traveling, but I have not posted stuff. I've been posting on my Instagram, but I've not yet edited, but I will definitely drop a video soon. So bye and good luck.